Hi there, this is Two Legs Better, and welcome to my channel. And today's episode, I want to talk about decision making, and particularly, I want to talk about the decision making of Air Noland. And this is Air Noland. Um, his name is Prentice Air Noland. He's an American football quarterback. He committed to Ohio State last year, and then he transferred in December to South Carolina. Now, I this is not an easy issue here. Okay, I understand that. I understand because last year Ohio State had five legitimate quarterbacks. Okay, last year they had Will Howard, that's the starting quarterback, and then Devin Brown, that's the first backup, and the second backup was Julian Sain, and then there's Lincoln Kingholz, and the only one, the odd man out, was Air Noland. So I understand how frustrating it was. And there are other factors, of course, and when he was recruited, he was, I'm pretty sure, even if he wasn't promised, but he had the impression that he will be the only quarterback taken in that class. And that is, then he would be the number 4, right, in the ranking order there. Now, here's the thing, though. Later in January, I think it's January, Julian Sain was available and decided to transfer to Ohio State. Julian Sain is this guy. Julian Sain was the number 1 quarterback in the same class as Air Noland. So you could say that he's better than Air Noland, maybe. But Air Noland was like a number 4 or number 5 in that class. So it's pretty close. To me, it is pretty close. But last year, the QB room at Ohio State was a little bit jammed. They had 5 guys. That's a little bit unfortunate. And but here's the thing, though. If you are Ohio State, if the number 1 quarterback in the world in the country wants to join you, there's no way you turn him down. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I can understand from Air Noland's perspective that it's almost like cheated. It's like you said I'm the only one, and now you saw somebody better and you bring it in. Now that's not my position on this. My position is from a decision-making perspective. I would say for Air Noland, to some extent, it sucks. It sucked, right? You thought you were the one, but it turned out you were not. It doesn't really sit well. However, you think about it in a long life, in a long college career, right? And he actually redshirted last year, so he still has 4 years left in college. So he has a choice. He could stick around, and he could leave. And if he stick around, so some things were clear at the time. For one is Will Howard is going to leave after this year, no matter what, because that's his last year, and Devin Brown will leave no matter what, because he's not going to be the starter. He doesn't really have the confidence of the coaches, and it's maybe he would, but it is very unlikely. So the most likely starter would be Julian Sain. So if 2 quarterbacks left, they eventually did. That's Devin Brown and Will Howard, and then Air Noland would be number 3. But of course, in the new year, there's a new guy coming in. That's Tavian Sinclair. So he's arguably the number 1 quarterback in this class, but he's 1 year younger. He will be his first year. So when he comes on campus, and things might be a little bit different. And the other one is Lincoln Kingholz. Lincoln Kingholz is in his 3rd year in the program, but he didn't enroll early. So his first year he was redshirted, I believe, and he didn't really perform well in the bowl game against Missouri. So but he's a great athlete. So now, if I'm advising Air Noland, you know, if I have a son in his position, my advice might be just to kind of stick around, and at least after the summer, see how it goes, because it's unlikely you're gonna go somewhere to be the man, the guy, right away, right? So why not stick around after summer, see how the spring goes, because the spring is totally wide open. Sure, everybody thinks Julian Sane is the guy, and he's more likely will be, but who's to say who's next? I mean, you know, it's potentially you should be able, you're a second year, so if you are really that good, you should be able to beat out Tavian Sinclair, so at least you're number 3. And if you beat out Lincoln, you'll be number 2. And number 2 at Ohio State wouldn't be too bad, right? If you back up Julian Sane for 2 years, and then it will be your turn. Either you take over the reign after him, or you can move to a different place, pull a Joe Burrow, like what Joe Burrow did. He spent 3 years at Ohio State, then go to LSU and became a Heisman winner and national champion winner and all these stuff. So instead, Air Noland decided to transfer out and to transfer to South Carolina. South Carolina, I'm not particularly intimate with the knowledge about their quarterback situation, but I know their starting quarterback is a freshman. So, and he did really, really well at the second half of last season, almost bring them into the college football playoff. So it's the best case scenario for Air Noland is to be the backup by going there. And it will be at least 2 years to be the backup. So it's basically to be the backup at South Carolina or the backup at the defending national champion Ohio State for 2 more years. So 2 years later, which one gives you more value? And I don't know. If I were to give advice, I would say you learn under Brian Hartline and Ryan Day for 2 years would be valuable, maybe more valuable than at South Carolina. But I don't know. Things could happen, right? He could take over there or something, or maybe there are some other reasons involved, all these things that we don't really know about. So by that I mean I'm not here to question his decision. I'm not saying he made the wrong decision. I'm just saying, from the evaluating the field and to kind of from a judgment, from a decision perspective, which option might be better, well, that's what I do. So that's how I wonder about things. So whether that's the right decision or not, it's only time will tell. I've been watching college football for more than 2 decades, so I've seen a lot. Tate Martell and others, in the past, and especially quarterback is a touchy place, touchy position. But anyway, let's see how well he can do that. And from Ohio State's perspective, I would say you could say Ryan Day failed Air Noland, but I'm not sure I would go that far. Of course, Julian Sane is a surprising addition, but at Ohio State every year you have real studs coming in. If without Julian Sane, this year there will be Lincoln Kingholz, Tavian Sinclair, and Air Noland. If they are not ready, they may bring in another quarterback to be the starter from the transfer portal. But now they have they have Julian Sane, so I think they don't really need that. They don't really find the need to do that. But then Air Noland left. That leaves only 3 viable quarterback options there. So now they almost have to take another one. But mainly as a backup role, I believe, from a more experienced perspective. So in any case, these are like 18, 19-year-old kids, so they make decisions about their life. It's, yeah, I mean, it depends on a lot of things, and sometimes I think Air Noland grew up in Georgia in the South, and Columbus might be a little bit too much for him, too cold and too whatever. So it's all understandable, but that's decision. The decisions you make will affect your life and your future. So anyway, so that's my 2 cents on the matter. Again, there's no judgment or no resentment. I still pull for Air Noland. I wish him the best in South Carolina, and so that's it for today's episode. And please subscribe and come back later. And in the meantime, have a great day.